just to reiterate again, I had COVID and I had to spend 2 weeks in quarantine, which is why I haven't made videos. I did recently make I did a few days ago make a new video, basically my rant on Afghanistan, and I probably have uploaded this before or after this video. I'm not sure, but if you want to look into how I feel about Afghanistan, you can look at that. Spoiler alert, it's not good. But I think it's important in this video, at the very least, that we should be talking about the domestic political ramifications of Afghanistan. I think it's completely obvious that the Democrats have absolutely no way to salvage this situation. It was a complete screw up. I've said this before in my rants, and I will say it again. This is worse than what happened in Saigon. We lost a lot, over nearly $100 billion in armaments to the Taliban, which they're now frontally showing off in videos and in footage and pictures, whatnot. We left behind many of our own Afghan allies. We got a lot of people killed, and we even left a few hundred Americans behind, apparently. Which honestly doesn't surprise me one bit. But apparently, to Joe Biden, he's fine with just the fact that 90% managed to get out. Those who wanted to get out, instead of what it should be 100% of Americans being flown out of Afghanistan. But anyway, again, this only shows that the ramifications of the withdrawal in Afghanistan are terrible, to say the least. And with the Democrats in power, there is no way they can somehow turn this into a good thing. Even the mainstream media has been jumping down, or somewhat at least, jumping down Joe Biden's throat over the debauched situation of Afghanistan. And every single time, he's tried to walk away from the media and not ask any questions about Afghanistan. I'm pretty sure people remember recently, in a conference situation, or in a conference room about Hurricane Ida, he said he wasn't supposed to take questions, but he was going to take them anyway. And then someone I don't know who asked about Afghanistan, and he immediately says, "I'm not going to talk about Afghanistan," and then walks away. Goes to show the situation about the man, and how badly Joe Biden's screwing up with this country, not just in the foreign policy front, but in the domestic policy front. With that being said, I'm pretty sure this goes to show that the Democrats are not going to win in 2022. I think that is all but certain. It would be the only case I would see that happen. See any chance of the Democrats retain control would be through election fraud, and even then, I still have some doubts because of with recent laws being implemented in the states. But yeah, this definitely falls upon Joe Biden and the Democrats. Currently, the Democrats have control of both houses of Congress. They have a slim majority in the House, and they have a 50-50 split within the Senate, with only Kamala Harris, the installed VP, being the one who gets to break the tie. And of course, they have the presidency because of the issue of the 2020 election, which I still believe Trump won. But considering the situation, it's definitely not going to look good for the Democrats. People have a pretty good memory, a short memory, but I'm pretty sure Afghanistan will stay in the minds of a lot of people, and it's definitely going to stay long in especially into next year in 2022. 100%. I mean, after all, at the point I'm making this video on September 6, 2021. It will be about maybe 14 months, give or take, before the election day comes around. and that's still going to be in people's memories. It's that big of a situation. But I'm willing to make a bigger prediction here. This is definitely going to have the Democrats lose in 2024 to the Republicans. The reason why I know that a lot of people are going to be pretty skeptical about this and just having black pills and that sort of thing, thinking that the Democrats will somehow snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, especially again with the uh, election fraud. Again, first off, here's my white pill to this situation. First off, there's been a lot of election integrity reforms have been passing throughout this nation, and many more to come. So that's one thing. Although that's a different story. That's just to highlight the situation. Number two, even if there is electoral fraud, this is a major damaging point or damage part of Joe Biden's legacy. And it's definitely going to hurt him as president or as trying to be reelected in for his second term as president. It's definitely going to hurt him 100%. It's definitely going to hurt Kamala Harris too if she does run it and replace Joe Biden. But I don't think the Democrats are going to win. The reason why I say this is because I have historical precedent. And all of this is from the 1970s. Now, after Richard Nixon's Watergate scandal and after he resigned, Gerald R. Ford became the president of the United States. He had to deal with a lot of issues. One of them being, of course, that he decided to parole Richard Nixon, which, in all honesty, made his situation look pretty bad. Like he's conspiring with Richard Nixon as part of the Watergate scandal, and he was definitely hammered by the press. Whether or not that is true remains debatable, but I'm not going to look into that. But that was just one issue that he had to deal with. Another issue that he had to deal with was a similar issue with foreign policy. Again, I'm bringing up the fall of Saigon. The fall of Saigon was a major blow to Americans everywhere because they had fought for at minimum, I would say over 10 years. I'm just being conservative here. Over 10 years in Vietnam, and suddenly, after a few months, North Vietnam manages to defeat South Vietnam and make it come under communist rule. Now, true, 100%, Gerald R. Ford tried to get Congress to appeal and to authorize U.S. airstrikes in order to help the South Vietnamese. But the American public and the media did not portray it as such, especially since, again, Gerald R. Ford was the commander-in-chief and the president of the United States at that time. So who better to be the scapegoat than Gerald R. Ford? So he managed to serve his only term, and that's where we get our second example of this. Jimmy Carter and how he botched up with the Iran hostage crisis. That was probably what killed it for him. Not just with a lot of the other issues regarding like the oil crisis that plagued the United States and so forth, which actually we're seeing a repeat of that here with Joe Biden and with inflations and among a multitude of other things. But specifically with the Iran hostage crisis, this definitely had hurt Jimmy Carter's reputation as a foreign policy leader, or at just the very least, a president in general on the world stage. Because while he did try to get Americans out, it was definitely under his watch that the embassy was stormed and Americans were held hostage for, I think it was over a year, and that was until Ronald Reagan was elected. And on the day that he was inaugurated, January 20th, 1981, Iran decided to let go of the hostages. I truly see something similar happening to Biden. 100%. This situation in Afghanistan has already stained Joe Biden beyond repair. He has literally no redemption. And the fact that he is avoiding responsibility is just digging his grave more and more. I do not see him, if he manages to live out long enough with its dementia and all that stuff, for another term. I do not see that. If he is already a divided figure that at this point in time, so many Democrats have regretted even voting for the guy. I do not see Joe Biden coming out on top. And I don't really see any true leaders within the Democratic Party that may potentially go against Ron DeSantis if Trump doesn't run, and of course Donald Trump, who honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he manages to get his sweeps into the presidency in 2024 if he does run. I would not be surprised. So yeah, the Democrats are definitely going to lose in 2022, and I definitely believe that Joe Biden, or at least someone who replaces him, is not going to win in 2024. It's definitely the Republicans' time to hit the hammer while it's hot. They are going to potentially take control of the House of Representatives and potentially take control of the Senate. And this is not for sure yet. If Donald Trump does win, he would definitely sweep the floor with the Democrats. And he will make this not only his major victory, but his major redemption. Because now, the man who was installed as president, Joe Biden, has been effectively rejected by the American people. He has been totally rejected because of his failures, especially of what happened in Afghanistan. And in fact, I say again 100% as my belief that Afghanistan has sealed the deal for his asterisk administration. My name is Noah Meehan on The Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below, like this video, subscribe, and share with your friends. Also, if you have any issues regarding my videos, such as how I talk or anything, please post them down in the comment section down below or direct them message me. Thank you.
Almost heaven.